Hey everyone, welcome to Major Mondays. How are we doing, everyone? This is Tim. We got him back in the building
Hey,
today, and he's going to break down some news that's been going on in the world that we should all probably be aware of.
yeah. Um,
You
I don't
said
know. Do you
something.
want to just
Yeah, let's jump
jump
right
right
in.
into
You
it,
said
or what do
something
you
was
want to
going
do?
on with Hong Kong. Oh, I mean, we could talk about. We'll talk about the markets. We'll sprinkle that in throughout the way.
Sure. Yeah.
But let's talk about Hong Kong.
So Hong Kong, the current leader, the chief executive, as they call it, Carrie Lam, has announced that she's going to be ending her 40-year government career and not be running for re-election. And it's
40 years.
kind of interesting
That's a long time.
because, yeah, it has been a long time, and there's been a lot of protests or shall we say demonstrations um, based on her extradition bill that she passed about 2 years ago. So she's just been receiving a lot of flack from the citizens, I guess, and figured it was probably a good time to step away.
Yeah, I mean,
Whether it was her decision or her superiors, who knows? But yeah,
I'm sure we'll never know either.
yeah, exactly.
But that's not the only thing happening in that side of the world. We've got, of course, the Russia-Ukraine war still going
Yep.
on. What's Russia or what's
And
Ukraine doing these days?
yeah, so Ukraine has formally written a letter now to the Canadian government asking for more anti-tank rounds. The Canadian government originally supplied them with about 2,000 of these rounds and their launchers. Um, and now they're expecting to run out fairly soon. So they've put in an order for another 1,000. Now, the issue of this is the previous rounds that were given were from Canada's supply stock. They have like an excess reserve just in case. But the ones that are now being asked for were kind of already earmarked for supplying allies that are involved in war.
Okay.
So I don't know. There are some funds being probably talked about dedicating to more defense talks or more defense spending in the next budget meeting that's coming up here shortly. So it'll be interesting, something to keep an eye on. The Russia Ukraine conflict definitely is something that's still going on. Got to be aware of it.
Yep. And they'll also need. Oh, I forgot about that.
Uh,
That's when I was begging Tim to get some puts with me on Lockheed Martin, and he was like, "I ain't been against them." And then they dropped. What were they at? This was
but I don't know. They came
it
back
was
to
480, and it would drop down back to like 430.
yeah, sure, man.
I
You
forgot
could
all
have made
about
money
that.
on it. And
I
it's
love
fine.
trading view sometimes. But anyway, so they're coming back. I like this pattern here. So that's something to keep an eye on because hopefully America will step up and give them more supplies.
Yeah.
Specifically, some Stinger or Bumblebee six. What are they called? Razorbacks, Switchblade 600s.
Switchblades. Switchblades.
Yeah.
So
If
like
you
a
want to learn more
backpack
about
unfoldable drone.
Man, they are so cool. If you want to learn more
Yeah.
about them, we dropped some DD on them a couple weeks ago in preparation. Probably, oh Jesus, probably like a month ago now. In
Mm.
preparation for all this defense budget spending and the aid that we would be giving to Ukraine, and hopefully we'll continue to give to Ukraine.
Yeah. Yeah.
Uh,
They're
but
definitely still in the middle of it over there. So
that's a little doom and gloom. Do you have anything more peppy? Anything that might make me want to dance? Do you have any fun
yeah,
news?
sure. Well, I guess Elon Musk bought 9.2% of Twitter, an amount of almost $3 billion worth of Twitter's available shares.
What is this guy
Um,
doing
He has expressed many, many times, quite publicly on Twitter in
on Twitter?
interviews, and he really doesn't like the amount of censorship that goes on. And he was quoted in saying that he was thinking about starting his own social media, which people may have speculated that he was going to jump onto Truth or something, but it looks like he has now gone with Twitter. But
If
what interests me the most
okay,
about this whole thing, and this is a little fun piece of news, because the price jumped today on the announcement, Elon Musk has had his shares since March 11th.
11th or the 16th?
Was it the 16th?
He had it mid-March.
Okay, mid March. Anyways,
There's
in the
probably
past.
not a price difference. Oh, wait.
Yeah,
That's probably him buying right there.
yeah.
That
So
gap. That's probably him.
what's the price difference there?
So yeah, from mid 30s, low 30s, all the way up to 50 now.
Yep.
Yeah.
But he's probably made more money on this transaction than Twitter made last year in revenue.
So I'm so glad you brought that up. My fun fact for the day. So based on when Twitter was trading at $49, he made approximately 750 million off of that trade, which
Jeez.
is double the amount that Twitter has made in net income over the last 2 years.
Wow.
Yeah, so you take the net income over the last 2 years, you double it, and that's still not as much as Elon made today off of Twitter. But I don't think he's over. I'd imagine he buys like he sells in chunks. So I'm sure, even though he's taking a passive investor position right now, this man has never done anything passive in his life. I think he's probably going to get like a seat on the board. I would. You brought up a great point about DWAC, the SPAC that took over. That's doing the True Social, Trump's network, because it dropped big time. I mean, it's been on a pretty big downward spiral. I will say
it was probably being speculated upon because Elon was talking about getting into.
Yeah, exactly.
So
my $5 2024 puts are up 40%. So that's fun.
Nice.
Do it for the memes. Do it for the memes.
Always for the memes. Got to screenshot it.
Yep. So we've got inflation. Oh, so I wanted to briefly talk about cutting away from the news and talking more about the markets. We have the FOMC meeting coming up this Wednesday. Jay Powell's not talking, right? And usually it's the FOMC minutes that tanks the market. And then Daddy Jay Powell comes on and says, hey, guys, no, it's going to be okay. And the markets usually rally. Not always. He was a little more hawkish last time. But in general, we don't get that. We just get the FOMC minutes today. So, I mean, we see a pretty huge rally in tech and growth, right? Showcase here on the QQQ. Right, which, as you can see, was up 2% today, 2.06%. Massive. That's amazing. But I'm a little worried about this, and so I might be looking for like a short put, like swing trade in the middle of the week. Something I'm keeping an eye on because inflation is out of control, right? And so are interest rates. Now, Japan's got a little bit of a different problem, though, don't they?
Yeah, so they almost have a deflationary problem in the sense that they're kind of stuck because there's a bit of a reliance on the positive cash flow of just holding money, I guess.
Isn't that crazy? Like, we're over here complaining about inflation. South America inflation's like sometimes in the triple digits. Germany's got 20+% inflation because of energy prices. And then these guys have like less than 1%. They're like begging for inflation. Right now.
And it's crazy because Japan's economy is rather aged, and there's been a bit of a, I don't know, dry spell, if you will, with babies coming around. So because their population is aging faster than it's like kind of replenishing itself, it's creating a lot of production problems.
And it's going to continue. That's
Japan being like one of the bigger manufacturers in the world, like they do everything from like clothes to cars.
Yeah. I mean, like,
so with an aging workforce, that's going to cause some issues if they don't have hands to fill the spots, right?
A huge issue. Because I mean, like, we could sign enough laws or pass enough bills, snap enough fingers to turn on like all the oil production tomorrow, right? At least get the oil companies to start it. It'll take, I know, getting production going will take about 12 to 18 months, but we could at least start it tomorrow, right? If you did that same kind of initiative in Japan, well, it's still going to take you minimum 9 months, and then I don't know, crying babies aren't very good workers. They'll probably take another 18, 19 years after that.
Yeah, true.
So, I mean, it's not a problem that you can just
Yeah.
fix overnight. I mean, you can start the solution overnight, bow chicka bow wow, but it's definitely something to keep an eye on, especially because the yen is so important to the U.S. dollar, and it's a really good indicator for like recessions. So like we need like the world economy sleeps better at night when Japan has a strong economy.
Fair. That's a good way to look at it, actually.
Yeah. I mean, so one of my favorite phrases and that I hate so much is when the U.S. market sneezes, the rest of the world gets a cold. So that's just something. I mean, Japan's nowhere close to us, but it's along the same vein.
Yeah. No, I get it. That's interesting. I like that.
Thanks, man. I like you. Thanks so much for coming on and giving me some world news. It's good to keep up with everything. Anything else? We got some famine in South America. We should probably mention real fast.
Yeah, that is
Or
true.
the drought. There's a drought. Watch
There's
out for soybeans with Brazil.
a huge drought going on. Commodity prices, just be careful.
Well, you guys heard it here first. Maybe buy a couple extra cans on the grocery trip. Thanks so much for stopping by. Thanks very much for watching. If you guys enjoyed it, give us a like and subscribe if you haven't already. Smash that like bell. And if you want to be a part of the conversation, join the Discord. We got a link for you down in the description below. Good luck, guys. Happy trading.